Hey everybody, welcome back. And if you're new, thanks for stopping by. Today, I'm going to take a look at this WYZE Cam Pan. It's a 1080 pan, tilt, and zoom Wi-Fi indoor camera. I wasn't planning on getting one of these. However, when we were looking around for a baby gift, someone had this on their registry and decided why don't we get one for the house as well, just to check it out, see how it is. This is actually their second version of the camera. The original version didn't have all these features, but after a lot of people complained, I guess, or just offered them suggestions, they upgraded to this. And this is pretty neat from what I saw on their videos. This isn't my first WYZE product, as I have this WYZE wristband, and I do wear this all the time. You've probably seen it in my previous videos. The only complaint I have is sometimes it unsyncs with my phone, but simply opening the app, resyncing it, makes it work. Oh, and my other complaint is if you wear mosquito repellent and you accidentally get it on the underside plastic, it tends to eat it up. So as you can see here on my WYZE band, that's the heart rate monitor. You can see the plastic looks a little chewed up there, and that's just because the mosquito repellent eats this type of plastic, so they might consider in the future doing something different. But that's not what we're talking about today. Let's take a look at some of the features it lists on the box here. It says it's 1080p Full HD. It has night vision with 6 IR LEDs. It has 110 degrees of quick rotation speed, 360 degrees by 93 degrees pan and tilt range, which is pretty cool. That means, I guess, the camera can tilt and pan along with the whole base rotating. Has motion and sound detection. We're not worried about the free rolling 14-day cloud storage. Don't really need that. It has a 120 degree wide angle lens. I'm not a fan of wide angle, but you can see more on this type of device. And it has two-way audio. It says it's enhanced, so I'm assuming it's easier to hear. And just to show you here, the model is the WYZE CP, I believe that's a 1. And yeah, it's a Wi-Fi camera, and it's compatible with Android 5.0 and up, and then iOS 8.0 and up. So something you can use on both your Android or iOS phone. So let me go ahead and get this open. Get my handy dandy razor here, cut that up. Alright, I zoomed out there after I cut it open because I figured it'd be easier to see things. So, pop this open, grab this with our little pull tab here. This appears to be just the, yep, looks like it has pretty long wire here to plug in. So it has a wall adapter. It's just USB with a micro USB here. Set that aside. And there's some paperwork stuck down here. We won't worry about that just yet. Looks like I'm going to need to cut this. Be careful about that. And this looks to be the camera itself. And it's, oh, it's taped on there. Okay. So, here is the camera. And got it all nice and packed fancy here. I'm just going to go ahead and, well, there we go. I got it. I was going to cut it, but it doesn't look like I need to. So, first thing I see is it will definitely hook up to, say, a tripod or anything like that, because it has the screw built into the bottom there. So that's quite nice if you wanted to put it up on something, or maybe add a mount for the wall. And here's the camera itself. So this base is, when you set it down, it should allow the camera to rotate all the way around. Now I could imagine being plugged in here. If you, I guess this might be like if you want to attach something to it. I don't know yet. We'll find out. But if you had something plugged in here, I would say set it on top, because if you rotate the camera around a few times, you're just going to end up with a wrapped wire. But that's where your main power goes, so you won't have to worry about it as wrapping up this cable if you plug it in here. So let me get this synced up with my internet, and then we'll go ahead and test it out. One thing I didn't show is it has this nice little quick start guide here. If you open it up, it shows you everything in the box, the camera, the USB cable, the power adapter, and this quick start guide. So there's not much to it, so it should be fairly easy. And again, you can just go into the App Store or Google Play, get the WYZE app, and it should be ready to go. I already have the WYZE app, so I won't need to download that, but I'll get my phone out here so we can start setting it up. And it just shows you over here kind of what's here. Oh, it also has a micro SD slot. I didn't notice that. So I guess you can just save videos straight to this. Interesting. And then, of course, the microphone's on the bottom as well. So I'm going to go set this up, and we'll see how it looks through the camera on this, and also from the outside when we're panning it around and stuff, see how much noise it actually makes. I think it's fairly quiet, but who knows? We'll find out. Alright, let's go ahead and get this set up. So here's the camera, and what we'll need to do is plug in our micro USB right down there to the base. I'm going to put it in back for now since the plug is that way, and then plug in our USB to the power brick. Then just simply plug it into the wall. Now, I think it's going to do a little movement here. I tried to set it up in the other room. That didn't totally work out, but we're here now. So I'm going to start opening up the app. You can see in here I have my WYZE band. We're not going to bother with that right now. If you want a review on that, I can definitely do one. Just let me know in the comments. So now the camera's doing its thing when it first turns on, and it just kind of swings back and forth and moves the camera around. And there it is. So let's go to add a device, cameras, and you can see the old WYZE Cam there, but we got the Cam Pan. And got to make sure it's flashing yellow there. It's flashing blue and yellow, but I believe that's okay. So we'll go ahead and press next. Then I need to click the setup button right here, and it makes some noises. It says ready to connect, so go ahead and check that. Click next. I need to enter my network information, which you're not going to see. Click next. Now I have to scan the QR code. I'm trying to do that right now. I'm just going to move it closer.
Ready to connect. QR code scanned.
There we go. QR code is scanned. I'll move that back for y'all to see. So we'll click next. And we'll give it a minute here. And I'll speed through this footage because it might take a minute as it says. Alright, now it wants us to set a name.
Setup completed.
And it said setup completed on the camera, so let me do home WYZE Cam. Make it the office cam. And click finish. I guess you could share it with other people in your house or friends if you want them to see into your house. I don't know why, but we'll skip this step. And we're connecting to the camera. Oh, and you can see my ugly gut there. All right, so it is working. So let me go put this up in another room, and then I'll come back and we'll check it out in there from a couple different angles and from the camera itself. Alright, so I'm in the app here, and we see a preview of the camera here. It's not a live feed just yet, so let me go ahead and open that. And we do hear sound, so that's great. So we also have my other camera in there set up, and I'll show you an angle of that as well, because this is only going to take up part of the screen. So let's just go ahead and pan around. See how far we can go. So just pan around the room. And it does have an end point, but let's go back around the other way. It is pretty quick on how fast it goes. And there's the other end. So it is 360 degrees, so that's quite nice. So let's go back to the... You can see I got my other camera there. I'll probably have a double shot of that. So you can see all my monitors, you can hear the sound, and then I can pan up. And you can see everything up. This would have been nice when I did my game room tour, because I could have just used this and kind of showed things from a different angle. So we can pan back down. And let me go over here. You can see all my stuff on the shelves. There's my camera on its mount. My couch. My dirty coffee table. So that's the lowest it goes. So I can go back around, see my consoles. There's that. So this is pretty cool if you ask me. There is more options here. It has motion tracking, pan and scan. It has a time lapse. I guess I need a SD card installed to do that, so not a problem. I'll do that in a bit. But there's a pan and scan mode, which just automatically scans the camera around, it looks like. But I kind of like this. It's pretty neat. And if I were to record, it could, you know, I have view playback at the bottom there. We got sound off right now. I think that's because I was speaking. Because if you do that... Can I hear myself? Don't know. We'll find out on the other camera. But it's kind of nice with the pan and zoom there that it'll just look around automatically for us. My dog's probably freaking out, wondering what the heck's going on and hearing my voice. But kind of a nice, cool feature to have. So I don't know where I'm going to set this up, but I am definitely keeping this since it is pretty cool. So let me turn off the pan and scan, and I'm going to put it in my own position here. Alright. So let me take a look at some of the other features in the settings of the app here. So we'll open our settings, and you can set the motion detection sensitivity. You can change your detection zone, and it also has sound detection sensitivity, so quite neat. And then we got event recording. So you can set it to automatically record when it detects motion or sound. Leaving those off for now. Also can put it on a schedule. So say you're here certain parts of the day and you're like, well, I don't need any detection then. So you can set it up when you're gone. Notifications. It'll notify you on your app or your phone. Possibly even your WYZE Band watch like I have. And of any of those events. So quite cool there. It also has alarm settings, so if it detects an alarm, like a smoke alarm or a carbon monoxide alarm, it'll also go off, and it'll, I guess, make its own alert video, and then send you a notification as well. So if you're away, and either of those go off, you'll get a notification, let you know, and maybe can save yourself if, say, a fire breaks out in your house or something while you're gone. And then, advanced settings, you can do local recording to an SD card, you can manage the SD card from here, motor control, so right now I'm at midway speed, so I guess I could speed it up on how fast I scan around, and then you could set specific waypoints on where it scans around your room or whatever, wherever you have it, so that's also neat. You can set your night vision mode to always be on, turn it off if you don't need it, or auto, like me, and just kind of go through it. You have the night vision IR lights, camera status light, you can rotate the image 180 degrees. I don't know why you'd want it in that form, but maybe you have it sideways on a wall or something. I don't know. It's all depending on how you set it up. And you can show the timestamp, the WYZE logo on the recordings. You can record sound and sync the time settings. I'll just leave those on for now. And then it has accessories, which a WYZE sensor bridge, I'm assuming you can add to it. I'm assuming that's why it has a USB port on it. Then you can set some rules. You can schedule it, put device triggers, so other WYZE devices can trigger another, or you have shortcuts on the home screen. We're not going to change any of that. Sharing is obviously if you want to share it with family members or other housemates or friends so they can just spy on you all the time. And you got your device info, and I'm going to block out the IP and MAC address, but it tells you the firmware, your network, your signal strength, when you activate it, and your plugin version. And finally, you can get in touch with WYZE support here and restart the camera, or just delete it, which if you delete it, you have to go through all the setup we did at the beginning. So let's check out this motion tracking here. I'm just going to walk through the room and see how that works out. So as you can see, the camera is automatically moving. It sees me with everything, and so it's just checking me out and panning. It's pretty neat. So if you want, and I'm assuming if you turned on the pan and scan, it would also, if it saw you moving when it was panning around, it would start following you. So, again, another neat feature. This also seems like a security feature if that's what you're looking for in this device. So, let me do some sound from another room, and I'll play that back here in just a second.
Hey everybody, this is just me testing the sound quality from the app. Hey everybody, this is me talking through my phone mic rather than a headset. Through the headset, it kind of sounded like I was talking on a walkie-talkie. It might sound the same here, but I'll find out in a second when I look at the video. Hey everybody, I'm just talking in the room, trying to see how it sounds through the recording on my phone. Is it worse when I'm closer, or is it better, or do I sound okay?
So, as you heard there, the sound quality of the speaker on the WYZE Cam isn't the best, especially when I was using my headset through my phone. However, when I was just talking through the mic on my phone, it sounded a lot better. Still, both sort of sounded like a walkie-talkie, so I'd say it's kind of mediocre sound quality. The mic also wasn't the best of quality, but it still picked up my voice across the room and close up. But the closer I got, sounded more walkie-talkie-ish. But again, it's not terrible. As a safety and security device, I don't think you need the highest quality of mic and speaker, so overall, I give it about a 6 out of 10 for the quality on both ends. Now, here in this clip, I was testing out the night vision, because obviously I wanted to do that to make sure it worked, and I gotta say, picture quality is quite good for what it is and how much I paid for it. And on top of it, the motion detection was on par. As soon as I walked in the garage, it noticed me, and then I tried to duck down inside my car and was still panning over to me when it noticed my head and arm all moving in that direction. I continued this by trying to walk behind the car and everything, and even with just my head and shoulders showing, it still was picking up the motion. So, if I turned up the sensitivity, it probably noticed small little things, but I think right where it's set is perfect. Overall, I have to say this is a pretty good product for the price it cost. I wouldn't use it to record YouTube videos or scenery, but as a security camera, a pet camera, or even a baby monitoring camera, I think it works quite well. I don't have a baby, so I can't test that aspect of it, but with the ability to rotate automatically or manually, alongside with the motion and sound detection, could work for that situation. Again, I wouldn't baby talk to the baby through it, as you might honestly scare it. Personally, I think I'm going to use this as a pet cam, just to see what my dogs are up to when I'm away, or in another room. Plus, with my front door being in the line of sight, it could definitely help out if someone came into the house unexpectedly, with the motion detection and the sound detection, so I could get a notification on my phone, get on the mic, and possibly distract them or deter them from going into the rest of the house. For the most part, I'll just be watching my dogs and trying to talk to them through the speaker to try and confuse them from the other room or maybe when I'm away. It's kind of funny to see their reactions when they don't see me but hear my voice. Also, I might be able to spook a family member or two if they're caught off guard and forget that the camera is there. Otherwise, it puts my mind at ease knowing what's going on at the front door or if my fire or CO2 alarms went off while I was away. Anyway, that is going to be all for this video today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Also, if you can hit that like and subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it as it helps me out. I thank you all for sticking around, hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care.